Hey everyone, welcome back to PDPMO. I once again am your host Richard, and I'd like to thank you for stopping by. Today the movie we're going to be discussing is Mad Max Fury Road. It is the fourth installment in the Mad Max franchise. I'll be touching on the other three as well. I don't know if I'm going to get into full reviews of the first three, but I should be able to talk enough about them to give you my general take on the movies. We're just going to jump right in there. Again, no real spoilers at the beginning, but I'll let you know when they're coming. Did I like Mad Max Fury Road? No, I didn't. Here's the thing. I am a big fan of the website imdb.com. I've mentioned them pretty much every one of my videos. And this movie is the highest rated, according to IMDb subscribers. This is the highest rated Mad Max movie. I don't understand why. I don't get it. I was a big fan of the original Mad Max, loved The Road Warrior. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome was a misstep. Uh, this movie came out, I was like, do we really need a fourth Mad Max? I mean, Tom Hardy, okay, is a good actor. Um, can he pull it off? Again, I don't get my hopes up anymore. But this movie was hyped. Like, everybody who went to see it was just like, this movie's amazing, this movie's amazing. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe it was overhyped for me. But I went to see this movie, and I just don't understand why it's as hyped as it is. Because it's so over the top. And I know people are going to come after me, and the practical effects and the stunts and everything. Don't get me wrong. The movie looked great. And if it had been a music video, maybe that would be great. But the story was weak, and it was a retread. It was just, there's so many things wrong with it that I'm about to dive into now. Again, not a popular opinion. I think it's like right now sitting at an 8.1. I wouldn't give this movie a 6. Like, it's in the 5 range, like 5.8, 5.9. If I did the 10-point rating system, which actually, according to IMDb, makes me prefer Beyond Thunderdome. And you've got to be a pretty bad movie where I would rather watch Beyond Thunderdome. But I can tell you right now, the theme song of that song is kick-ass enough that I might actually put on Thunderdome instead of Fury Road if I had to watch it again. Gun to my head, Thunderdome. Okay, so now I'm going to get into the spoilers. So thanks for stopping by. Go watch Mad Max Fury Road. Like, I would love to hear your feedback, because I don't get it. So yeah, if you're leaving now, thank you. Please click like, subscribe, share. Let's get this out there and keep the conversation going. Okay, so spoilers. The Mad Max franchise is set in a post-apocalyptic Australia, let's face it. And the entire series is set up. Max Rockatansky, played brilliantly by Mel Gibson. I know Mel Gibson is toxic right now, but he really brought this role to life. So in the original Mad Max, he's a cop. Long story short, this is just like street gangs, some great car chases and crashes, and just lots of crazy. I mean, it was made on budget. I mean, you can tell this is a budget movie, and the original Mad Max hasn't aged that well. But to kick off the franchise, it was good. Then we come to the pièce de résistance, if you will. I did that anyway, the French. Road Warrior, which was the second one. For me, hands down, the best of the four. Great story, the great action. It's the stuff you see, but it's also the stuff you don't see. For those of you who know, like the scene I'm talking to, like something terrible is about to happen, and rather than in today's world, like zooming in on the this terribleness, you actually just see the actors reacting to what's happening, and I think that's what we play in our own mind is always worse. So I'm a huge fan of that kind of filmmaking. Beyond Thunderdome, you know, it was a misstep. It was cash grab. Spoiler alert. So was Fury Road. But Beyond Thunderdome, I mean, they cast Tina Turner, who's not real. She's not an actress. I mean, she's a singer. I mean, she gave us a hell of a song, right? Um, that's one of my favorite Tina Turner songs. I love that song. But the movie is just a mess. But here's where Fury Road feels like a cash grab. If I were to tell you that I loved that Mad Max movie when, you know, they're in that rig and they're racing across the desert and the bad guys are chasing them, and then, like, you know, the good guys are dying and there's big action, big explosions, everything, and then they turn the rig around and they have to come back. I'm not talking about Fury Road. I'm talking about The Road Warrior. Like, how do you make another movie in this day and age with basically the same climax as part two of your quadrilogy, I guess? Although they're talking about doing more, so I mean, I doubt the quadrilogy would even matter anymore. But it was such a ripoff of Road Warrior. Don't get me wrong. Again, the effects were amazing. The sandstorm was cool, but the whole, like, the villain, like, they're not even trying to hide that they're just rehashing this, because the guy who played the villain in the first Mad Max. Like, they're literally just taking parts of the old movie, sticking in a new one, and being like, And Tom Hardy, here's a perfect example of what's wrong with this movie. Tom Hardy, I love Tom Hardy. He has such screen presence. Him and Joseph Gordon-Levitt were my favorite parts of Inception. He commands attention. As Max Rokitansky, he didn't capture that. He was okay. And I will say this, Tom Hardy is a good actor. Do you know how shitty a movie you have to make Tom Hardy look okay? I mean, when he played Bane, he was better than Max, and he had half his face covered, and you could only hear one out of every third word he said. But that was still a more compelling performance than Max. I don't get it. Like, I don't know if it was a script problem. What script? Just a bunch of yelling at each other. But Charlize Theron, I mean, love her. Easily the most compelling character in this in this movie. They're talking about doing a Furiosa movie, because she's the only one that's really got anything to say in it. I would like to know more about that character, but they're probably going to have some sort of weird, like, Mad Max 5 and whatever. They'll screw it up. Talk about please don't piss me off. They're already pissing me off. And they haven't even done the script yet. But you look at, I mean, the whole, like, you got these women that the bad guy keeps, and then they're trying to break him out, and there's no character development at all when it comes to these women. I mean, you've got, like, Zoe Kravitz. I mean, she does well. Rosie Huntington Eye Candy, who, like, there's this dramatic scene where she dies, but we don't care. Like, I didn't care. Like, I don't even know who that character is. Oh, the pregnant one. So, like, I'm sorry the baby died, but I care more about the baby than her character. Mad Max Fury Road it's like the worst parts of fan service. It was just a straight up cash grab. They put a lot of money into it. You can tell, but they didn't spend the money where they should have, which is on better script. Like, it spent all, like, that whole, like, the rock, the guitarist with the flames and all this stuff shooting. You don't need to have that. I mean, that looks like the opening to the next, like, Guitar Hero game. Like, it's just, it was so unnecessary. Nicholas Hoult did well. but he's good in everything. Um, but again, the whole character with the change of heart and with the hand and the crash, it was just no. That's not what the Mad Max franchise is supposed to look like. It's not supposed to be flashy and like these sweeping vistas. This is about like living through the apocalypse and like scraping by. The Mad Max feels more like the road. That's what it's supposed to feel like. Just this bleak, awful nastiness, not this like place where there's these havens all around and oh, we can make it here and this. No, this isn't a hopeful situation. You try and survive. It's about survival. Um, and the character of Max, who was broken when his family was killed in the first one, um, and him just trying to survive. I mean, in the first Mad Max, it was about vengeance. Obviously, you killed my family, I'm coming for you. Like that's a very standard Hollywood trope. But in the Road Warrior, the character fleshed himself out, and he started to find a little bit more hope. Not in like everything getting better and like society being like okay in some places, but just he found something to fight for. And then again, Thunderdome, they just went weird. But this was such I've seen this movie twice because the first time I saw it, I honestly believed that it had just been overhyped. So I'm just like, okay, PDPMO, my expectations were lower, so now I'm going to watch this again. This is like 6 months later. I'm going to watch this again, and I watched it, and I hated it more than the first time. So it's not about expectations. This was just not a Mad Max movie. It was a very, very fancy video game. And I don't know if there was supposed to be a video game tied along to it, but, no. Um, but again, that's just my opinion. But like an 8.1, I don't understand an 8.1. That means like the users out there think this is one of the best movies, like the best action movies ever made. Like, I don't want to watch this even if you paid me. Like, I don't want to watch it a third time. So I don't get it. Maybe obviously I'm in the minority, but for those of you out there who feel maybe not as strongly, but can at least see my point and maybe I can start to sway some opinions because yeah, no, Mad Max Fury Road, yeah, hard pass. Like hard pass. I don't know what kind of weird Guitar Hero smash up they were trying to make, but I, it was almost like an insult. Like it's like, hey, guys like explosions. Here's explosions. It's a perfect example. This is totally off topic. Have you ever watched a John Woo movie? And I'm not talking about the garbage he makes in North America. I'm talking about the nuances that he brings to his films from Asia. Like those movies are top notch. And then when John Woo makes a North American movie, i.e., Face Off or Wind Talkers, uh, I honestly believe that he thinks North American audiences are incredibly stupid because all he does is gives us these straightforward by the numbers action movies where everything blows up. Like there's two cars and they like touch and each one's carrying a bomb for some reason and it just explodes into a mushroom cloud. He did one Paycheck. This is again, I'm off topic now. I'm off Mad Max. He did Paycheck with Ben Affleck. Yeah, I saw that one too. Yikes! But I was watching the movie, and about halfway through, I'm like, there's not that many explosions in this. Like, is John Woo actually? I mean, it's not a great movie, but is like John Woo actually giving us something that is not just explosions? And then the climax happens, and there's one explosion. I swear to God, it lasts like 10 minutes. Like, it just did not stop. This building was just, I was like, ah, there it is. He decided not to make it a bunch of explosions, just one really big one, because that's how dumb he thinks we are. And that's the same feel I got from Fury Road. It just felt like, you know what? Let's make a Fast and the Furious in the Australian desert. And we'll combine elements of Guitar Hero and the first three movies and mash them all together and steal people's money. Mad Max Fury Road. The only thing that was Fury was my feelings after it. So again, Charlize, thank you. Compelling performance. You were good. I want to see more from you, but not by these clowns. You deserve a better movie. Tom Hardy, you deserve a better movie. Nicholas Hoult, you deserve a better movie. The guy, the bad guy, who was the bad guy from the first one, you don't deserve a better movie. Stop making these Mad Max movies. They're not good. Everyone else who's in this movie, you deserve a better movie to be in. So, yeah. No. So thank you for stopping by and indulging me. I don't usually get to rant, because if you go back and look at my videos, most of them tend to like steer towards the positive side, because I try to look for, like, you know, the good and even an okay movie. And at an 8.1, I should have been able to say that this was more than an okay movie. But no, I would have to watch, like, I would rather watch a spoof of this movie, like made by like the Farrelly brothers, like, or like, you know, directed by Tom Shadyac. Like give this to Mel Brooks and let's just have fun with it. Like Spaceballs 2, Mad Max, like that kind of stuff. Maybe he could pull something out of there, because this was just a steaming hot mess. Terrible script, terrible story, but again, great action. The practical effects were amazing, but everyone in it deserves better. So thanks for stopping by. Leave comments. I want to hear, because like I said, I don't usually shit on a movie, but if you're gonna shit on me, payback's a bitch. But yeah, so thanks for stopping by. Again, click like, subscribe. Let's get the conversation going. Hopefully not too many awful reviews, but they all can't be good. I mean, look at John Woo North American movies. And I know there are a lot of you out there who like Face Off, but Face Off might be fun. It's a bad movie. Like, it's a bad movie. So, yeah, so like, subscribe, share. Let's get the conversation going. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. Talk to you soon.